Alright, I'm back with another Spellforce 3 replay cast. This is from the Losers Bracket Round 2, and this is going to be a matchup between Cavalon and ProxyTempest. So, we are on Evergreen Forest, and let's get into it. Alright, so ProxyTempest is the green elves, and Cavalon is the blue elves. So we got our mirror matchup here. So, let's see. Cavalon is going to be going for the Druid, and ProxyTempest is going to be going for the Ranger. So we got different heroes. Both players sending their Pathfinder forward. Let's see if they run into each other. They got the same speed, so there's no point trying to get attacks off on one another. Cavalon's going to the right. ProxyTempest is going straight forward. There we go, making good use of the Homecoming Stone. Got a Wolf summon. Let's check abilities here. So, Psychokinetic Blast, Obliterate, and Ellen's Fire for Cavalon on the Archdruid. Hail of Arrows, Deep Waters, and Spirit of the Forest for ProxyTempest. So I'll be interested to see how committed to using this summon ProxyTempest is. Looks like Cavalon is just gonna stay on his side. I would assume that he'll go back to this corner after taking this camp. Because ProxyTempest went straight forward, I wonder if that means that he'll go aggressive after this. We will see. Alright, let's see for our next ability. So, for Cavalon, has not used his other 2 points yet. ProxyTempest went for Brute Force and True Shot after the first camp. Did see that there was some worker harass going on from this Pathfinder, from Proxy's Pathfinder, and actually both players are going to go back into their corner sectors. See, so Proxy can see, or excuse me, Cavalon can see that Proxy's got his Pathfinder over here. I guess Proxy's gonna harass this banner. See if he can just knock this down over a long period of time and prevent that from being upgraded. Won't force a response. And for ProxyTempest, I'm not sure if he just killed the Pathfinder from Cavalon. I gotta be on point about the names. I used to casting mirror matchups. Alright, so level 3 on both heroes. I would guess that the Ranger is going to be able to push his Druid out pretty quickly, especially with the Wolf. So you've seen that this sector is upgraded. Cavalon's probably going to be harassing the wood line, just dropping the Ellen's Fire and using Obliterate on it. He's going to ring the bell, so keeping him safe, drawing out a spell. I'm assuming he thought that he was going to hit the wood choppers with that Obliterate, not just the Guardian. Probably see some more Ellen's Fire. Yep. So Proxy's doing a good job of ringing the bell. He could unring this one, but again, he's focusing on his hero micro right now. Just trying to stay on top of this Druid, and he's doing a pretty good job. Cavalon's probably going to buy some potions from his side of the map, but he did go down for that, so didn't get away free. This Pathfinder did escape. I hadn't noticed that he ran him back into this pocket. So we'll see what he does. I'm not sure if he's going to put that to much use. That's a very easy spot to forget about the scout at this point. But ProxyTempest is going to go for the Medusa sector. Let's see how we're doing on upgrades. So only one sector up. Gotta unring those bells. Proxy's economy is not going to be in good shape if he forgets about those. Let's see, Cavalon Zone 1. Just got a grove there. 2 sectors upgraded. This one is actually level 2. So Proxy's going to get full experience off of this. No competition from Cavalon coming over since he picked the Druid off. So that was an important hero pick because a lot of times on this map you'll see players competing with one another for this Medusa experience. And Cavalon is putting the Pathfinder to work. Looks like he was going to attack the Elven Banner but decided to move on. Probably wants to get some more intelligence about what sector upgrades ProxyTempest has. Figure he'll check over here. I'm gonna take a peek and see if these players are upgrading their worker at home at all. No for Cavalon. Oh my god, is that gonna get stopped by the Pathfinder? I think it might.
Damn it. More complicated than I thought.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, I would not think that that would work very often, but
she's caught a scent.
He was doing enough damage, so good move by ProxyTempest. So neither players are upgrading the worker at the home sector. For me, on this map, I like to, as the Elves, upgrade the worker once or twice in the home sector and get a stone camp back here. Because this one on the forward base can be a little bit susceptible to harass. And the ones in the corners I also am not fond of using because I prefer to save these sectors for spamming iron mines. Jeez, that ranger's in rough shape. So the druid is gonna be pretty good here with all these area of effect spells against this guardian play. These guys have horrible magic armor. And this guy's good area, got good area of effect magic damage with his spells. But the good thing for ProxyTempest is he does still have numbers, and he also has a level advantage on his hero because he was able to get after the Medusa camp earlier on with the hero pick. So the ranger paying a little bit of a price for chasing after this guardian, but he did pick him off in the end. And you can bring these guys back into the picture and start getting on top of this archdruid. I think if you're worried about area of effect spells from the archdruid in this situation where you've got a lot of guardians available, just throw them into range mode. Which is what Cavalon has done here. So right now, just tier 1 guardian play from both players. Not sure if either player's on stone. Not in the back. Not in the front sectors yet. And not in the corners either, because neither of these are upgraded. So this is going to be, looks like an extensive tier 1 play from both of these guys. See, the only stone that's been used is from Cavalon upgrading his pocket sector right here. Back sector, I'm not sure what you want to call that. But either way, let's check items. Nothing on Cavalon yet. Tier 3 armor, tier 3 weapon, tier 2 armor, and potentially potions. Not sure from ProxyTempest. Then as far as abilities, ProxyTempest is on 3 brute force. Did pick up bullseye and put another point into deep waters. And Cavalon, let's see what workers are under attack. Get rid of that. Let's see what's this. Okay, so harassing with the wolf. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good use of that ability. All right, so 1 into deep waters. Ellen's fire, Trent's grasp, nature's gift. Psychokinetic Blast, Obliterate, Rot Stone, and tune a Brute Force. This is a super kind of jack of all trades build. I wonder if you might be better off putting more points into Deep Waters and skipping Rot Stone or one of these other spells, because you're not going to be able to cast everything. You're not going to have enough mana to cast everything during combat. Although I guess if you're just chugging potions, maybe it's worth the skill diversity, because you never really have anything stuck on cooldown. We'll see. Maybe Cavalon's gonna be putting the shop to use and buying mana potions. I don't see that often, but I guess if you're doing a skill build like this, that could actually pay off pretty well.
We're being attacked.
So maybe I spoke too soon on that. All right, I'm gonna switch back to the free spectate here. So level 5 on level 4. So the ranger does have a little bit of a level advantage. Check experience. Cavalon's about 4.5. Proxy is barely 5, so not too much of a difference. Cavalon doesn't have any vision on Proxy's side. Proxy lost a wolf, so no vision either on the other player's side. Alright, now as far as macro, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. All level 1 outposts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of which is level 2. So Cavalon has got the more developed infrastructure right now. But Proxy has actually not more population. They're tied on population. So Proxy does have the level advantage, but Cavalon has a decent amount more economy set up right now. Which, given how close the experience is, I feel like I prefer Cavalon's position. Is he going to go for the Golem? That would be interesting. Oh, maybe not. Alright, so it appears as though Proxy's going to apply some more pressure on Cavalon's side of the map. I'm actually very confused by how long this tier 1 has been, but I guess both players are on stone now. Cavalon seems to have clicked up. Oh wait, he's already... Okay, so Cavalon's already tier 2. He did hit tier 2. Proxy has not clicked up yet. So let's see if this Guardian spam pays off. What's the response? They both have a pretty good amount of Guardians still. Very similar experience, or excuse me, not experience, population. A lot of splash damage. Going for the hero pick. Gotta be careful there as those Guardians switch into range mode. Good army movement, keeping out of the, what is that ability called? Hail of Arrows. So being able to keep your army moving around, not clumping up too much so you can avoid these big area of effect spells is going to be important for both players because of what their army composition is right now. A well-landed Hail of Arrows or Ellen's Fire is going to cause a lot of damage to either army. I mean, you can see how much. It's only doing a little bit per guy, but that's going to add up over time. And actually, this Druid might go down with this, yeah, wow. A Ranger will too, but, I mean, do you still get experience even after... It looks like you still get experience even after your heroes died, as long as they're in the area. I'm not sure if this countdown is the duration within which you can get experience, but Cavalon's hero did level up amidst all of that, so
we're being attacked.
Still pretty close. Populations are still comparable. ProxyTempest is on the way to tier 2. Still got some time to go. Let's see how the iron production is. So 2 back here. 3 back here, and none here. So 5 iron mines so far for Cavalon. And let's check army composition. So for Cavalon,
Give the word.
still all guardians.
Building completed.
Doesn't have any iron quite yet. Oops, excuse me. And for ProxyTempest, still all guardians because he's not even tier 2. Although he's just hit and is going to be starting to get his iron mines up. So neither golem has been taken. I'm going to recheck items and abilities. So we got level 3 armor on the druid. Still the same for the ranger.
Building completed.
Added a point into Hail of Arrows and into Unending Volley, so that's going to be really good for picking off the druid, as we saw in the last fight. For Cavalon, got a point into Ellen's Wrath and another point into Obliterate.
Building completed.
So it looks like that adds more projectiles to add more damage. From what I've seen, it doesn't appear to me that adding points into Ellen's Fire or Nature's Gift is very worth it. I think that the added duration isn't a big deal because of the way the cooldown works anyways. So Cavalon venturing into ProxyTempest's base. Now let's see what ProxyTempest is up to. He is going on the other side, and he's actually split his army, so his ability to respond to this is actually somewhat hindered because of his troops being split up, but he can deal damage in 2 areas. Now Cavalon, I mean, he looks like he's gonna force Proxy's hand here. He's clumping up and running straight for the capital.
We're being attacked.
And for a second I thought he was thinking better of it, but what's he gonna do here? Is he gonna target the sector center or just back up? Okay, so he thought better of that and he's porting out. Now, excuse me for not checking on this, but I was watching to see if there was going to be a capital snipe attempt. But from Proxy, you can see he picked off 2 sectors. So probably a better play for Proxy there. Cavalon is responding to this. He's going to pick off most of this army, probably all of it actually. And it seems that Proxy has kind of just accepted the fact that these guardians are going to go down, being as annoying with them as he can. Let's see if he grabs this territory. He's probably going to want to grab this on his way over. And it looks like he might be going over to the golem or to this corner area, just by the way his army's moving. Let's check the army composition. So still all guardians from both players. That's so bizarre to me. Now I'm not familiar with what the Elves meta is currently. From what I've been seeing from other casters' YouTube videos, it seems like this guardian spam is kind of the thing. I wonder what the tier 2 response would be to guardian spam. I hesitate to say wanderers, but I almost wonder if a few of them sprinkled into an army composition could be good because of how much these guys clump up when someone's spamming guardians. But I feel like I'm so used to seeing the typical warden spam, although that's probably old meta at this point. And actually, we got protectors on the field, so that's going to make a big difference because all the guardians that are going to be mixed into the front line with those protectors. And actually, there we go. So we're seeing wanderers, or at least a wanderer. Yep, and enough that was not a misclick. So wanderers and protectors coming out for Cavalon. Oops, I gotta check on this. Still guardians being annoying back in this pocket. Man, really harassing this iron. And I'm not sure if Cavalon has realized that this is going on because he hasn't rung any bells and he's not sending troops over here. Well, he's got a couple coming actually. But he's going to be going for a golem. I like the use of rot stone. Siege damage on this guy is going to do some good work. I almost wonder if, just because of the amount of units, if it would be better to use... oh, he doesn't have it actually. What do they call that? The mean beam? I forget what the ability is called. Crush spirit. So he doesn't have it yet, but... So I guess that's why he used rot stone instead of that. I was going to say with that amount of units, it might be better to use crush spirits and just amplify the damage of everybody else, but... Now I see why he did that. Alright, so straight protectors and guardians for ProxyTempest. And then for Cavalon, a mixture of wanderers, protectors, and guardians. And I honestly prefer Cavalon's army composition. He's also got quite a lead on population right now. My feeling is that just having the wanderers mixed in there to add a little bit of splash damage to this to these guys is going to pay off. We'll see how well he controls them, because if you kind of just sit the wanderers in the back, once this line forms, they won't be as effective. But in an engagement like this, they're going to pay off. Yeah. And looks like ProxyTempest might have got out right before that. What is it? Ellen's Wrath hit. So Cavalon is still getting harassed. This is, you know, he's got the population advantage, but ProxyTempest is doing a much better job of harassing, and particularly harassing these iron mines. You can tell that he understands as another elf player that these two sectors are going to be... This is interesting. These two sectors is going to be where the economy is, you know, the most prioritized for Cavalon. He wants to get all the iron he can from back there, and seeing a watchtower go up, I'm curious how effective that's going to be. Now these guardians, this is a good response from ProxyTempest, are just going to go into range mode and sit out of range of the tower. But he, even though it's a small amount of troops, every unit that he sends into these back corners to harass is forces that he does not have in his main force. And that might have been a misclick. I think the ultimate, the level 5 ability from the ranger got used on a normal unit and not on the druid. But man, this, I mean, you can see from the population, Cavalon is wiping ProxyTempest's army here. And you don't need to be worried about the iron at this point, because you've got such a huge lead, and you've got pressure on the sector right in front of the capital. And it looks like ProxyTempest conceded the game there, which was reasonable. Behind 130 population. So, man, that was a pretty intense game. I did like the harassment from ProxyTempest, just sending little squads of guardians into the iron mines, but it seemed like Cavalon just had some better macro. If you recall, we were doing a bit of a sector count in the beginning, and he had about twice as much sectors expanded and moving with economy buildings. You know, I'm not sure if it was around like the 8 to 10 minute mark or so. And I figure when we see the resource graphs at the end, you'll see that reflected. You can see the army size was definitely moving in Cavalon's direction as well as the game progressed. Now, I'm not 100% sure how much of that was hero damage output. We'll get to see that in the graphs as well. But either way, good play to both players, Cavalon and ProxyTempest both. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here. So similar production, a little bit more army kills for Cavalon. Yep, you can see more construction, and right. So this is what I was talking about. I mean, this is 50% more resources gathered, almost, for Cavalon. Right, so it was the macro that paid off because both heroes dealt equal amounts of damage, but Cavalon was just able to bulk up his forces and progressively get the lead there. So army size reflects that. Resources gathered, right? So we saw the end game total, but you can see how it scaled throughout the match. Jeez, huge experience jump right there, and that's that. So game 1 goes to Cavalon. That'll make it 1-0 in this best of 3, and I'll see you on the next game.